Hello and welcome into the Chaffetz Arena. Josh Schreiber here alongside Beckett Storey, and we've got a 2022-2023 A10 final rematch between the St. Louis Billikens and the UMass Minutewomen. Thank you so much for tuning in on this YouTube broadcast, and we'll still treat it like a radio broadcast, but once again, Josh Schreiber alongside Beckett Storey. And Beckett, this is going to be a very fun, likely fast-paced ball game.
Well, there's no doubt about it. These are two teams that have really started to figure out their identity this season. The Minutewomen coming off what I would say is their best game of the season against Fordham. They shot over 55% from the field. They shot over 56% from three. Shanae Odenabo had her best game as a Minutewoman. Allie Palmieri had her best game as a Minutewoman. So this is the time to get things going at the beginning of A10 play. And as for St. Louis, this team has some of the best coaches in the Atlantic 10, and they have all the right characteristics to have a great team.
Absolutely. It's two teams that play very well in transition. They play very hard and physical, and it certainly should be a good one. We are going to take a short break for the national anthem, but when we come back, it's time for starting lineups and tip-off here on YouTube, I guess, not 91.1 WMUA Sports. We'll be right back. Welcome back into the Chaffetz Arena. Josh Schreiber alongside Beckett Storey, and it is time for starting lineups here in St. Louis.
First, for the visiting team, the UMass Minutewomen, Momo LeClaire starting at point guard. She's been doing that a lot as of recently. Allie Palmieri starting at the 2. She had a career day against Fordham, scoring 31 points. Stephanie Kuleja also had a really good game against Fordham. She's really starting to find her groove this season. And then, of course, Megan Olbreeze and Shanae Odenabo are rounding out the 4 and 5. And for the home team, the St. Louis Billikens, they got Kennedy Calhoun, Mia Bergstrom, Tiara Simon, Peyton Kennedy, and Marcavia Shavers to round it out.
That they do, and this is a UMass lineup that they have a fairly tight rotation. You're going to see quite a bit of Yamani McHale off the bench, the freshman point guard who has been such a spark plug for this ball club, you'll also see Lily Ferguson quite a bit, who might be the only player on this team that really matches up well against Brooklyn Gray. And that takes us to the starting lineups. Brooklyn Gray not in it, but let's take a look at who is starting for St. Louis, Beckett.
We already got that. I already said it.
Oh, my bad.
No worries.
So
say it again.
Anyways, for St. Louis, Kennedy Calhoun, she is certainly a veteran on this team, a very ferocious point guard. Peyton Kennedy, the only player on the St. Louis team that has been here for 5 years. A big matchup to watch will be Peyton Kennedy and Steph Kuleja. Those two will likely be matched up on each other for a large portion of this game. Both players are leaders on their team, and they both lead by example.
Well, there's no doubt about it. You know, you think when you think of a leader, you do think of someone who is vocal, who is always there to bring their teammates back down to earth. But a leader by example is honestly something that's harder to find nowadays. Someone who can stay calm, stay collected, and both those players do that consistently. And Kennedy Calhoun is just an absolute menace with the steals. She has 48 steals this season, which is good for third in the nation. And so that's going to be a really big issue for the Minute Women if she can continue that.
Absolutely. You look at what St. Louis has done this season. It's been very hot and cold for them, which has been a trait that they have really embodied the past now 2.5 seasons with Rebecca Tillett coming over from Longwood University to serve as the head coach here, and she has done a phenomenal job as a head coach in St. Louis, winning the A10 championship after starting the season 5-15 in 2022. And then last season, another, up and down regular season for them. They sneak into the A10 championship, lose, but then win the entire WNIT. So they have been very successful with Rebecca Tillett at the helm. It should be a fun one as Chanae Odenabo is out there at half court to take the tip. UMass rocking their normal road maroon uniforms with the white numbers, white lettering across the chest, the names across the back underneath the numbers. St. Louis wearing their home whites with Billikens written across the chest, the Nike sponsor, and their names across the top of their jerseys on the back above the numbers in blue. The tip is up. It is won by Tierra Simon, secured by Mia Bergstrom, and we are underway. Kennedy Calhoun now dribbling left wing right in front of us, now dribbling diagonally across the perimeter. Bergstrom now a real threat from three-point land, passing to Calhoun. Calhoun, one of the best defensive point guards in the country. Backing down is Shavers into the starting lineup tonight. Shavers gets away with a travel, and no, she does not. They end up calling it out of bounds. And UMass basketball.
Excuse me, Josh. And already to start, UMass playing great team defense, helping, switching. This is exactly what they talked about in practice.
So Momo LeClaire dribbles the ball at half court now. Passing to Kuleja, short corner. Bounce pass to Odenabo, right wing. Handoff, Steph Kuleja. Kuleja to Olbreeze. Olbreeze asking for a screen. Ball gets poked away momentarily, but secured by Palmieri. 7 on the shot clock. There you hear the screaming from the coaching staff right in front of us. Palmieri pull-up jump shot, no good. About 5 feet away, hits the back rim, and secured by Markavia Shavers. Kennedy Calhoun back the other way. Still no score, a minute into this ball game. Calhoun organizing the offense just to the left of the logo. Calhoun now in front of us. Swings it over top of the arc. Deep three from Bergstrom off the front of the rim and out of bounds off of Peyton Kennedy. It'll be UMass basketball.
And the distance of that shot there by Bergstrom is not a surprise whatsoever. She can hit it from just about anywhere on the court. So UMass really has to keep a body on her at all times.
An abnormal starting 5 for St. Louis. They've got both of their forwards in, Markavia Shavers and Simon, as Steph Kuleja takes a short corner jump shot from the right side. It's good. It's 2-0 UMass. The first score of the ball game comes a minute and a half in.
What a good sign to see for UMass.
Markavia Shavers now driving inside, blocked by Odenabo, gets her own rebound. Still trying to put up a shot, gets double-teamed, and a 3-second violation called on Shavers. It's UMass basketball.
St. Louis seems a bit out of sorts to start this game. So far, already a 3-second violation, unable to get a shot on their first possession, and UMass really has to keep this up here.
And that is Shavers with her second turnover. Momo LeClaire now working on Peyton Kennedy. Pass to the left corner. Olbrey's in the short corner, driving baseline. Kick outside. LeClaire open three. No good. Rattles around. Offensive rebound. Odenabo goes back up with it and puts it in for two. 4-0 UMass, 2.5 minutes in. 7:40 on the clock. Three-pointer from Peyton Kennedy rattles around the rim and out. Offensive rebound, Simon, and she gets fouled on the shot. The call is on Steph Kuleja, who they're going to say got Tiara Simon with the shooting foul. This is a very impressive St. Louis Billikens team in terms of free throw shooting. Tiara Simon, the center on this team, shooting 74% from the line as she misses the first. Off the right side of the rim and out off the left.
Good call there, Josh. But with these Billikens, you just can't give them second chance opportunities because they will make you pay. And as she hits the second there.
It's offensive rebounding, transition, and turnovers. That's how St. Louis gets the job done offensively. 4-1 UMass leads, 7.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Olbrey's puts up a wild shot, and they're going to say she traveled. It seemed like she tripped on her own feet, driving short corner.
UMass already in the press here.
Yeah, Kennedy Calhoun, absolute menace with the ball in her hands. Calhoun driving, kicking outside. Kennedy for three in the corner, no good. Rattles around. UMass getting the defensive rebound. Kuleja, kick to LeClaire. LeClaire right wing, doesn't put the ball down. Pass to Kuleja again instead. Now Palmieri working on Kennedy. She takes a contested three and hits it in her face. 7-1 UMass. 6:55 to play in the first quarter. Bounce pass knocked away by Kuleja. She got a piece of it. Transition here for UMass. Palmieri up and under, no good. Offensive rebound, Kuleja, no good. And LeClaire saves it from going out of bounds. Another chance for UMass off the front rim. Odenabo offensive rebound and a foul called. My goodness, what an offensive rebounding display by the UMass starters.
3 in 1 possession and all by different players. Momo LeClaire got in there, Odenabo and Steph Kuleja, but just so much fight there, and they don't want to give the Billikens anything that they can get easy.
6:36 to go in the first quarter. Shot clock reset to 20. Ali Palmieri now passing to Olbrey's, not putting down the dribble. Skip pass to the left corner, extra pass, Kuleja, three ball, it swishes it in. 10-1 UMass, they're out to a hot start. 6:20 to go in the first quarter. Calhoun breaking the press to Bergstrom. Now Peyton Kennedy working inside on Olbrey's, and she traveled. Fantastic defense by Megan Olbrey's, and it's UMass basketball.
I mean, nothing the Billikens can do right now. UMass swarming them on all facets, and you got to talk about Steph Kuleja. 5 quick points. She looks as confident as she's been all season.
Momo LeClaire, the starting point guard here. Not going to put a lot of numbers up on the stat sheet, but lots of hustle plays throughout the game as Steph Kuleja nearly turns it over. Peyton Kennedy got in the passing lane, but LeClaire got it. In case you can't hear it, 6 on the shot clock. LeClaire inside Odenabo. Extra pass Olbrey's. It's wild. Has to get a shot up, and it is an air ball. That will be a shot clock violation. Not sure if she even got it off. But either way, it won't matter. It's St. Louis ball with 5:40 to play in the first quarter.
And with a little more of an aptly timed pass there by Odenabo, she would have had an excellent opportunity to score with her left.
Tiara Simon nearly traveled after an unexpected pass to her. Brooklyn Gray in the game for the first time today. Kennedy Calhoun now, top of the arc, dribbling with her heels at the Billiken logo. Inside Gray, extra pass is right there. That's Ann Yamelli, the freshman standout. It's 10-3 UMass. Halfway through the first quarter. Ali Palmieri now driving inside, gets poked from behind by Kennedy Calhoun, but Calhoun can't save it from going out of bounds. That's Calhoun, who is third in the nation in steals, as you mentioned, Beckett, just poked Palmieri from behind, but UMass will still inbound underneath the basket. LeClaire inside. Getting it into Odenabo. Gets blocked momentarily, but gets it back and puts it in for two. Chineye Odenabo, 4 early points. Back the other way, Anyamele. And she puts it in for 2. The freshman has 4 points early on for the team's 5. 12-5 UMass leads. Palmieri now. Losing the ball. Diving on it is St. Louis, and we get a jump ball called. Possession arrow favoring UMass, and that will bring us to the first media timeout. UMass up 12-5, but we'll keep it right here.
Man, it's hard to catch your breath. What a quick start to this first quarter, Josh.
That's exactly what we thought it would be. Two teams that love to get out in transition whenever they can.
And UMass able to limit St. Louis to just 2 made baskets in the first nearly 6 minutes of this ball game. And although it's only a 7-point game, that their zone defense right now has been like a ironclad wall. There's nothing the Billikens can really do unless they get second chances. And so far, the forwards, Chineye Odenabo already 2 for 2. And she's just been on such a burner recently for the Minutewomen.
She really has been. And you look at what the Minutewomen have been able to do. It has been Chineye Odenabo who's been able to blossom like a flower would into a player that she has become in A10 play. We saw this from her as a freshman last season, just how good she was when A10 play started, and she matches up so well as a physical post presence.
There's no doubt about it. And she has the ability to body people inside that most people can't do in this sport. So when she's able to find her touch at the rim, which was her biggest issue last season, it wasn't the fact that she wasn't getting good looks. It was the fact that the touch just wasn't there all the time. Now that it seems like she's found that rhythm, there's almost nothing that these teams can do, especially when her arms are fully extended. That's nearly 7 feet up.
Right, and it's something that they're able to do much more successfully, UMass that is, when they're making that extra pass. And Odenabo doesn't really create for herself other than off of offensive rebounds, which is certainly a large part of her game, but she is really good at hitting her layups, which is something that sounds very basic. But in the end of the day, it can be a problem and has been a problem for UMass this season. They have started to hit those layups at a much better clip, something that you obviously would have expected, but good to see Odenabo leading the charge there.
Yeah, there's no doubt. When you talk about percentages, you're thinking on a good day, a 3 is maybe a 30% chance to go in. But if you're right at the rim, it's nearly 75 or more. And so if the Minutewomen can convert those 75% opportunities, then teams are going to have to play on their heels. And the Minutewomen have the ability to score inside at such a good rate, but they haven't really done it all this season until as of recently.
So UMass will start with the basketball here after the under 5 media timeout. It's Steph Kuleja in the left wing, passing to Palmieri before putting the ball on the deck. Megan Olbrey's now driving inside, finishing with the left hand. 14-5, UMass leads. Peyton Kennedy now in transition. Kind of just got lost a little bit, but UMass ends up catching their bearings. Brooklyn Gray, skip pass, picked off by Tiara Simon, her own teammate. Now Anyamele, back to Simon. Simon driving inside, kick to Kennedy in the corner. Thought about the 3, now will drive it inside. She gets double teamed. Simon wide open down low for 2. It's 14-7.
The Billikens just looking for the extra pass on every single possession, and that worked for them right there.
Momo LeClaire working on Anyamele. Anyamele, a very promising freshman. 3 in the corner for Kuleja, no good. Offensive rebound, Olbrey's, and she puts it in for 2. UMass continues to shine on the offensive glass. It's 16-7, their lead. But Kennedy Calhoun working quickly. Kennedy now for 3. It's good. 16-10. And Peyton Kennedy, the leading scorer on this St. Louis team, the MVP of the WNIT, as we get a foul underneath the basket. Chene Odenabo gets ripped down. And Lily Ferguson will check in for her, and Yamani McHale in for Momo LeClaire.
And now we were just talking about how tightly UMass is playing this defense. Both teams, UMass 4 of their last 5 from the field. St. Louis 4 of their last 4 now.
Megan Olbrey's right off the inbound, just misses the shot. It rolled all the way around, and another offensive board by Ferguson. Palmieri driving inside, no foul called through contact. Offensive rebound, Kuleja for 3, she hits. Second and third chance points for UMass have been on display as Kennedy Calhoun loses it out of bounds, screaming at the officials. Back the other way in transition, Yamani McHale for 2. 21-10, UMass leads with 2:45 to play in the first quarter.
Stifling transition defense so far for the Minute Women.
Anya Mele now losing her headband off that ponytail. Brooklyn Gray now dribbling inside. Pass outside. Kennedy Calhoun, no good off the back rim. Defensive rebound, Lily Ferguson, and she gets fouled. A loose ball foul called, and UMass will inbound with 2.5 to play. They lead 21-10.
And something we didn't get to mention because we had such a short intro, Steph Kuleja, 18-6-2 last time these two teams played, so she always rises to the occasion. Already up to 8 points in this one.
Ali Palmieri now passing to Lily Ferguson, nearly gets away from her, but she secures it at the logo. McHale now, top of the arc, Kuleja. Kuleja gets a screen right from Ferguson, puts up the shot. It is off to the right. Goes out of bounds. It'll be St. Louis basketball.
I think that did get tipped there by Kennedy.
Either way, they say it was just an air ball. So Isabel Tillett into the game, the daughter of Rebecca Tillett, the head coach. Tillett, a captain on this team. And Tillett organizing the offense right now. Kennedy Calhoun down for a breather. Peyton Kennedy right in front of the UMass bench, no good with the 3. And Yamani McHale with the defensive board working quickly. Pull-up jump shot blocked from behind. It goes out of bounds off of St. Louis. It'll still be UMass basketball with 24 on the shot clock. 1:42 to play in the first quarter. Inbound pass goes to Olbrys, hands it off to McHale. McHale has Hannah Wallace on her. Wallace, another freshman from Houston, Texas. McHale puts in the floater. 23-10. A minute and a half to play in the first quarter. Isabel Tillett now breaking the press. Getting to Brooklyn Gray, the jersey untucked for her. Gray working on McHale. Now inside Wallace. The reverse layup is good. 23-12. Yamani McHale now with the basketball. Hannah Wallace will pick her up at the logo. McHale going between the legs, crossing over, passing to the left corner, Kuleja. Kuleja inside to Olbrys. She gets fouled on the shot, and she'll shoot 2 at the line.
And it seems that the Billikens have now been able to find holes in this zone defense along the baseline. But still just 12 points scored in this first quarter, and UMass has a chance to add to this lead.
So Megan Olbrys shooting at the line has been such a key piece for these Minute Women on and off the court. A true leader. And she could do it all on the court.
No doubt, leading the team in assists.
As she hits them both, Chene Odenabo will spell Megan Olbrys. And Momo LeClaire in the game now for Ali Palmieri. 56 seconds in the first quarter. UMass using that press here, and doesn't work this time as Anyamele gets the ball now. Anyamele takes a mid-range shot, no good. That one highly contested, probably not the shot they were looking for. And here comes Momo LeClaire. And we get a foul called on Anyamele as she ran right into Lily Ferguson.
Pretty interesting. Anyamele wears regular glasses on the court. You have to imagine that's got to be a bit of a learning curve wearing those instead of some goggles.
And since UMass is in the bonus, it will be Lily Ferguson shooting 2 at the line. They have a 25-12 lead here with 41 seconds in the first quarter, as Ferguson good on the first, 1 for 1.
And unequivocally, one of their best first quarters of the season already. They scored 26 in the win against Fordham in the first quarter, and that was just the beginning of things to come.
Ferguson's second free throw misses off the front iron, back iron, and out to the right, as Isabel Tillett now will hurry up the floor. Brooklyn Gray spinning, now driving inside with the left hand. A wild finish and no good, as UMass will try to hold here. They get up the floor with Momo LeClaire, and the steal by Hannah Wallace may have been tipped by Anya Mele. Brooklyn Gray not slowing down whatsoever, as Anya Mele now driving baseline. She gets fouled and won. With 14 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's an unforced error for the Minute Women. Obviously, the turnover there for LeClaire. But so far, the Billikens just haven't really been hitting the shots that they've been hitting this season, and that was one that they usually have some success with.
Anya Mele's first free throw, or only free throw, is off the front of the rim, so she cannot convert on the and one opportunity. UMass can hold for the final shot. 6 on the game clock. McHale dribbling, passing to LeClaire. 2 seconds left. She'll take a wild mid-range shot and swish it home at the buzzer. What a first quarter for the Minute Women, 28-14. Going into the second, Momo LeClaire puts the bow on the first, and we'll head to the second. A 14-point lead for the Minute Women here on my YouTube channel. Josh Schreiber, Beckett Storey. We'll be right back here in Chaffetz Arena. Back in Chaffetz Arena, Josh Schreiber alongside Beckett Storey, and we've got a fun game here. UMass in Nirvana. Everything going right for them here in the first quarter, but still plenty of time. We know how St. Louis plays. They are a team that can come back from just about any deficit, and with 3 quarters of this game to go, UMass has to keep the pedal to the metal.
No doubt, but every player who stepped on the court for the Minute Women has scored so far, and that's big.
St. Louis starting with the basketball. Hannah Wallace driving baseline. Skip pass to Kennedy Calhoun, who passes to Tiara Simon in the corner. Calhoun now top of the arc, passing to the right wing. Hannah Wallace, the freshman from Houston, Texas. Peyton Kennedy, the fifth-year star for St. Louis, passing outside. Hannah Wallace contested three, end of the shot clock. Tiara Simon rebound, and a foul called at the end of the shot clock, and they're going to review to see if she got the shot up before the end of the shot clock.
I mean, that would be an absolute prayer there from Tiara Simon. UMass played 29 and a half seconds of stifling zone defense there. And right now, they're not even worried about mismatches. They don't care if Yamani's on Calhoun or Wallace or Simon. They're switching to whoever is in the spot, and so far, it's been working for the Minute Women.
So we are going to see exactly what the final decision is here. But for now, Beckett, you look at this St. Louis team. We've already seen 9 players in this game. You've seen 3 freshmen in Shantaria Anyamele, Hannah Wallace, and Mia Bergstrom. What have you seen from these freshmen that has allowed St. Louis to pick up where they left off, where you lost 2 absolute stars in Julia Martinez and Kyla McMakin, but now you have these freshmen that are putting in these minutes?
Well, it's impossible to ask for them to produce at that exact same level as the players who preceded them, but you look at Anamale, and she's 3 of 4 already in this game. I mean, the efficiency is so important for a team like that, especially in the painted area, converting these important shots that are pretty commonplace to make when you get down there. And obviously, she is 3 of 4. She's the half of the scoring for the Billikens so far. Excuse me. But just poised. They don't look like they're freshmen. They play like they've been playing collegiate basketball for 2-3 years.
Absolutely. And Shun Anyamele is certainly in A10 Rookie of the Year watch, right alongside Yamani McHale. She had 26 points in their second game of the season against Drake. And that is what she provides for this team, scoring. She needs to be able to develop in other facets. Sometimes can have a little bit of tunnel vision, but certainly a very good player. And Mia Bergstrom, who plays the second most minutes for any freshman, she is a sharpshooter. 82 of her 99 shot attempts have come from beyond three-point land.
And another interesting note with Bergstrom is, like you said, 82 three-point attempts, but in over 200 minutes this season, she has yet to take a free throw. And you have to think that a player who is as good of a shooter from outside would probably be an excellent free throw line shooter, but just no opportunities so far this season, which is really, really surprising. But yeah, almost 8 points per game from her, and she's their best shooter by far, especially from deep. And she's never afraid to take a shot, whether it be 20 feet out or 23 feet out.
Yeah, I mean, we saw her take a deep, deep three earlier in this game, practically from the logo. But looking at this UMass team, things have gone well for them. They're still up by 14 points. Obviously, if this foul gets called, it will be 2 free throws, but still not exactly sure what the final ruling is, as we will get a shot clock violation. So the foul will not count. That is a big stop for UMass and a fantastic defensive possession.
No doubt. And so far, the Minute Women are really playing right now like they're on their own home court. Doesn't feel like they're the road team. And they're really taking it to the Billikens. And they haven't had an answer so far.
So UMass basketball underneath St. Louis's basket, as Kennedy Calhoun playing tight on Yamani McHale. McHale gets some separation. Back to Megan Olbreeze. And McHale will break the press. Momo LeClaire left wing over to Olbreeze, top of the arc. Olbreeze thought about the pass to Palmieri on a cut. Instead, Palmieri will get back to her. Extra pass McHale inside, no good with the reverse layup. And Tiara Simon with the defensive rebound. Olbrys did have the smaller Kennedy Calhoun on her, but made the extra pass to the open McHale. She just couldn't finish. Tiara Simon now working on Odenabo. Peyton Kennedy inside Simon. She gets double teamed immediately. Simon now trying to get through the double team and puts it in for two.
And Simon just such great footwork there. I mean, so impressive to keep her body under control and not get called for a travel.
Yamani McHale now across half court working on Kennedy Calhoun. Ali Palmieri right wing, the leading scorer for UMass this season, over 14 points per game. Odenabo pass to McHale. 10 on the shot clock. McHale pass to the left wing. It's LeClaire. Now Odenabo fakes the shot, no good. As she got Calhoun to bite, but couldn't finish with the layup. Calhoun, coast to coast now, finishing with the left hand, the scoop layup. It's back to a 10-point lead, 28-18, with 8 minutes to play in the second quarter.
4 quick points for the Billikens there.
And we will get a timeout as Steph Kuleja will go to check in. And Beckett, as this is not a media timeout, as UMass went to sit at the bench, decided they were not allowed to. So what have you seen from this UMass team that gives you hope for this game and the future?
Well, the extra passes, just like in Fordham, they were so unselfish in that game, and that's what led them to scoring 78 points, their second highest scoring total of the season. But also, they're not, afraid to go too quick on the offense or afraid to go too slow on the offensive side of the ball. They're taking their time in the shot clock, and I think that's leading to the best possible shots, even if it's with 2-3 seconds on the shot clock remaining. And so far with 28 points, even without scoring yet here.
As Momo LeClaire gets the inbound pass. Under 8 minutes to play in the first half. Megan Olbrys, extra pass. Kuleja one-on-one with Calhoun. Offensive rebound. No good twice. Ball out of bounds. Off of Calhoun. It'll be UMass basketball.
And those are 2 shots you'd love for Steph Kuleja to make, but just her ability to get up on the glass after the miss, so impressive.
LeClaire to inbound, 20 on the shot clock. Off the inbound, it's Kuleja. Calhoun swarming her. Kuleja misses the shot. Another offensive rebound. And a foul called as Tiara Simon got on the back of Kuleja. And that will be Simon's second foul. So another inbound for UMass. It's a shot off it by Palmieri and no good. Well short as Hannah Wallace gets the defensive board. Kennedy Calhoun now working inside coast to coast, and she gets fouled as she hits the deck. Megan Olbrys, being a good sport, helps her up off the canvas, and Kennedy Calhoun will shoot 2 at the line.
This is something that the Minutemen were talking about during their film session. She loves to get the ball off the rebound and just fly down the court, leaving only dust behind her pretty much. She's so quick and explosive, especially in the painted area, and at her size, no less, at 5'5".
Calhoun makes the first free throw. And the second one, no good off the back rim. 28-19, UMass leads. 7.5 to play in the second quarter. Steph Kuleja now working inside Olbrys. Olbrys turnaround hook shot with the left, no good. Simon can't get the rebound, but deflects it over to Calhoun. Hannah Wallace in transition now. We'll slow it down in the short quarter. Skip pass picked off by Kuleja. And we get a foul called in transition. It's Mia Bergstrom, a smart foul.
And that's a moment where you wish they had take fouls in college basketball.
Yeah.
Nothing but white stained wood in front of her. It would have been easy points for the Minutewomen in transition. Instead, sidelined out of bounds.
UMass has not scored here in the second quarter, as they look to do that here. Kuleja overhead pass to Palmieri, top of the arc, screen left from Odenabo. Palmieri Dribbling all the way inside, missing the layup. Offensive rebound, Odenabo and one. Chanae Odenabo got hit from behind and still put it in for two. And she'll get an extra at the line.
Numerous times this season we've talked about the quick growth of Yamani McHale, but just in these last 4 or 5 games, Shanae Odenabo has really turned it on into a whole nother facet of her game. She's been so strong inside, and it's really hard for anyone defensively to get a board over her. She towers over most players on the court.
Odenabo makes the and one opportunity, and UMass goes right into their press. Kennedy Calhoun will split the two defenders. Mia Bergstrom transition three-pointer, no good off the front rim. As Shanae Odenabo tracks down the defensive board, here goes Palmieri. Palmieri pass to Kuleja, leaping catch. Kuleja inside for two, no good off the front rim. Offensive rebound and puts it in. 33-19, UMass leads. Ali Palmieri guarding tightly on Kennedy Calhoun. Now it's Anyamele. Anyamele handoff to Calhoun. Swinging it around the perimeter, Bergstrom. Now Calhoun, knocked away by Chi. Here goes Palmieri. Palmieri does not have numbers, still trying to take it inside, and turned over as Anyamele jumped on it. And Kennedy Calhoun will get it up to Mia Bergstrom. Brooklyn Gray stops at the perimeter and passes it back to Calhoun. They will slow it down offensively. Anyamele now top of the arc. Pass to Bergstrom. St. Louis crisscrossing top of the arc. Now the extra pass inside as it will be Peyton Kennedy who gets fouled on the shot. She'll shoot two at the line. And Peyton Kennedy, the fourth best free throw shooter in the nation. 57 of 59 this year. Almost 97%.
And that's like Steph Curry, Jose Calderon level. I mean, it's really just hard to even believe that you could miss just 2 out of nearly 60 attempts.
And Kennedy right back at the line. The first one rattles all the way around and in.
But you can see what the Billikens are doing here. They're only shooting 13% from 3. They're really looking to attack inside, and a lot of their points have been scored at the free throw line so far.
Just 18 shot attempts for them in this ball game as Kennedy goes 2 for 2 from the line, back to a 12-point lead for UMass. Yamani McHale orchestrating the offense here for the Minute Women. Kennedy Calhoun nearly got the steal. And now she will. Just pokes it away, and we get a foul called on Yamani McHale in transition.
I mean, there's nothing you can do with Calhoun. She's just, her hands are always active. Her ability to steal the ball at any time in the shot clock, and she's also just so fast. That was the right play by Yamani to foul her there.
Yeah, that was an easy 2 points if she didn't reel her in. As Isabel Tillett passing, now getting the ball back on the left wing. Peyton Kennedy skip pass to the corner. It's Anyamele who puts up a mid-range shot, no good off the back rim, and a defensive rebound by Olbrys. Here comes UMass, back the other way. LeClaire slows it down. LeClaire operating as the point guard right now. Steph Kuleja. Kuleja left wing. Yamani McHale top of the arc. Open three, no good, but it didn't count. As I think we had a offensive 3-second. Not exactly sure what the call was. We were kind of shaded by a number of people in front of us.
There's some obstructions here.
Kennedy Calhoun to Peyton Kennedy. Kennedy backing down on Olbrys. Now we get an offensive foul called on Shun Anyamele.
That's now 9 turnovers for the Billikens in this game. They average 18 a game, so already halfway there with over 25 minutes to go.
Just 5 points for UMass here in the second quarter. 4:23 remaining. Pull-up jump shot for Kuleja, no good, and we get a foul called underneath. That is on Anyamele. And that will be her third foul. She is already. Oh, maybe Peyton Kennedy, I guess. I thought they held up 2 fingers, but maybe had the 3 with the other hand for 32. So Megan Olbrey shooting 2 at the line as they are in the bonus. Olbrey's good on the first.
And either way, Anyamele looks like a deer in headlights there.
Yeah.
Very surprised by the foul call. But UMass just doing whatever they want right now, especially inside. They have more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds.
Olbrey's 2 for 2 on the line. Here's Anyamele now driving inside. She trips. No foul called. And the ball goes out of bounds. UMass basketball. And there you see the rookie mistake by Anyamele. She had a teammate wide open in the corner, but you see some of that tunnel vision.
And I'm sure that didn't feel good for Megan Olbrey. She got a mean knee.
Luckily, she is all right. A very, very tough player Olbrey's is. 4 minutes here in the second quarter. Steph Kuleja now opts to decline the screen, passing outside to LeClaire. Now LeClaire inside. Olbrey's and a blocking foul called. Isabel Tillett trying to draw the charge, but does not get set soon enough, and Olbrey's will shoot 2 at the line.
And that's one of those plays that won't show up on the stat sheet for Momo LeClaire, but just such a smart find inside to the cutting Megan Olbrey's. She would have gotten an assist had she made the shot, but we all saw that here.
Olbrey swishes home the first free throw. It was a very impressive practice for UMass last night after they got into St. Louis. By all accounts, we heard that they were shooting, it seemed like 90% from the field. Now, we don't know how true that is, but sometimes the shot just falling. 37-21 UMass leads here under 4 minutes to play in the first half. Isabel Tillett backing down on LeClaire and swatted away by Momo. 3:37 now. 37-21 is the UMass lead, and they are in no rush to get into their offense. Peyton Kennedy nearly steals it away, but Lily Ferguson saves her teammate Yamani McHale. McHale now driving inside, putting up a wild shot. Rebound, Olbrey's, and she puts it in for 2. UMass dominating on the glass here in the first half. They lead the rebounding battle 25-10, and we get a timeout called by Rebecca Tillett. UMass fired up as they go to the bench.
Quick stat before we go. Second chance points so far. We talked about how UMass has more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. Second chance points right now. UMass leads that 21-1. That's as many points as St. Louis has in the ball game in second chance points. Just absolute domination on the offensive glass.
And this is something that last year's team, you look at what's happening right now, and this is a shock. They struggled mightily on the boards last year. And still plenty of time to go, but 26-10, they lead the rebounding battle, and that has been the difference in this game, no doubt.
No doubt. I mean, UMass averages 37.5 rebounds per game. They're already at 26. 26. That's remarkable. They might get to 45 in this game.
And the shot discrepancy is remarkable as well. 35 total shots for the Minutewomen, just 20 for St. Louis. So far more opportunities for the Minutewomen to put points on the board as Anyamele now holds the ball with her hands high above her head, passing to Tillett, top of the arc. Tillett hands it off to Calhoun. Calhoun asking for the screen from Shaver. She gets it. Calhoun working on Olbrey's. Goes behind the back, now trying to find someone to pass to. She gets it to Kennedy. Turnaround shot and a shot clock violation. Beautiful defense by the Minutewomen on that end. And you see when St. Louis has to get into their offense, they are just not as effective. Yamani McHale passing to Olbrey's. Olbrey's ripping and driving, and we get a foul called offensively. It's Yamani McHale. That will be her second of the day.
It seems hard to believe that 5'6" Yamani McHale could knock over 6'2" Shavers, but might have been a little bit of Oscar-worthy performance there.
Hey, big time, we're at 2 minutes. Let's go.
Selling the call is just as good as Isabel Tillett. Didn't see the pass coming. Still somehow caught it at the last moment. 2.5 to play in the first half. 39-21 is the UMass lead. Billikens trying to cut into it right now. Calhoun, skip pass, Anyamele, corner three, rims out. Defensive rebound by Steph Kuleja. 2:14 to play in the first half. Momo LeClaire now. Working on Anyamele. Anyamele is guarding her tightly at the logo. The mythical Billiken being the logo. Palmieri now. Extra pass to Momo LeClaire, top of the arc. Kuleja, step through. Mid-range jumper. It's good. Back rim and in. 41-21. UMass leads by 20. Their biggest lead of the ball game. Kennedy Calhoun now. 1:35 to play in the first half. Peyton Kennedy. Handoff. Anyamele. Anyamele driving inside. Ball out of bounds off of Anyamele. No, off of Olbreys. As Olbreys tried to take the charging foul. Didn't get the call, but still fantastic defense by her. And no, it was out on Anyamele.
UMass ends up with it.
Got it right the first time. Got to go with the gut. 8-0 run for UMass. 41-21 is the lead. 1:20 and counting here in the first half as the pass gets launched by Momo LeClaire, nearly jumped by Kennedy Calhoun as the ball goes out of bounds. It's St. Louis basketball. Kennedy Calhoun now. St. Louis swinging it around the perimeter now to Bergstrom right in front of us. Back to Peyton Kennedy, a foot inside the three-point line. Now will drive herself. Step through and no good with the layup. Offensive rebound trickles out to Calhoun. She tries to spin and hits it off the bottom of the backboard as Ali Palmieri picks up the defensive board. She gets swarmed and fouled. This time by Peyton Kennedy. That is her third foul. So Ali Palmieri shooting at the line, and UMass getting a little bit lucky as Peyton Kennedy found herself with an open layup, perhaps too open, as she blew it off the front of the rim.
No doubt about it. Well, you're talking about the two leading scorers on both these teams, Peyton Kennedy and Ali Palmieri, both having tough shooting nights to start this game. But UMass able to work around it. And Stephanie Kuleja already on double-double watch, 12 points, 8 rebounds.
And a sneaky 12 points for Kuleja. She has taken 13 shots.
And I think the most mind-blowing stat so far through this game, only 3 assists from the Minutewomen, and they have 42 points scored.
As Ali Palmieri makes it, she goes 2 for 2 from the line, 43-21. UMass has doubled St. Louis's total here in the first half.
Got it, Ali, got it.
Kennedy Calhoun trying to get open here off the press. Stolen away by Ferguson. Ball nearly goes out of bounds, saved by Kuleja, who throws it right to Markavia Shavers, and it's the Billikens in transition. Shavers inside, puts it in for 2 with the left. 23 points for St. Louis. Now 30 seconds to go. 4 seconds separate the shot and game clock. We'll see how far UMass tries to take it down. Anyamele playing sweltering defense. Ali Palmieri gets the ball poked away by Kennedy Calhoun, who knocks it out of bounds. We'll see if they reset the shot clock here, as I thought Calhoun may have had possession of the basketball, but as of right now, they'll keep it at 11 seconds.
Certainly thought she did.
They get it into Palmieri. 8 on the shot clock. Megan Olbreys rips and drives inside. Offensive rebound. Ferguson missing the shot. 5 seconds on the game clock now. Anyamele will have to drive it up herself. Passing to Bergstrom. Shot at the end of the buzzer. It will not count. What a first half by the Minutewomen. They lead 43-23 going into the break.
these first two A10 games, I should say, far and away the best we've seen them in the last 2 years. I mean, they're playing with such poise, they're playing with such intensity, and to be leading the Billikens here by 20 in their home gym is just remarkable.
Absolutely. We need some resuscitators right now for St. Louis as they are struggling to survive here. But if anyone can come back, it is a Rebecca Tillett coach team. Big time minutes coming up for UMass as we go to the break. UMass leading 43-21. We'll be 43-23. We'll be right back here. Thank you for tuning in to YouTube and TikTok. We'll see you soon. Welcome back into Chaffetz Arena. Josh Schreiber here alongside Beckett Storey, and we had a phenomenal first half for the UMass Minutewomen. They lead the Billikens 43-23. This is the reigning WNIT champions, and they are taking it out on them. And I know it's not the same team as last year, but, I mean, this has been a joy to watch.
No doubt about it. I mean, the Minutewomen are really playing with this great intensity, but they're also playing and they're having fun. And you got to love that because they had a tough year last year, but they really found this great group of players who can really compete, and especially in this Atlantic 10 conference. And you can just tell that they really enjoy to be around each other, like on and off the court. Being here in St. Louis, we see that. And that's how you get to a team that can come in and beat the reigning WNIT champs. You know, both teams have had people come and go, but the poise and the care that they have for this game, it's very apparent.
Absolutely. And, you know, if there were a basketball Bible, it would say you cannot get out-rebounded by double your total. And that has been what St. Louis has done in this game. They've been out-rebounded by nearly triple their total. It is 30-12 in the rebounding battle. And if you look at, you know, the differences in this game, 16 offensive rebounds for the Minutewomen. That's more defensive rebound. That's more total rebounds than St. Louis has. A point that you made earlier, Beckett, but a great point. It has been a fantastic physical showing down low for the Minutewomen.
And this is kind of what we expected from this newer team with all the size that they have. But, I mean, you also can't deny how stifling their defense was in that first half. Just 9 of 25 for the Billikens they scored. Peyton Kennedy just 1 of 5 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. Bergstrom 0 of 2, both of those shots from behind the arc. They really haven't had an answer in this first half.
Right. And the big thing in this game will be staying away from being complacent. You have to act like this is still a 0-0 ball game because UMass has let teams get back into games when they shouldn't, and they're the much better team. They have to prove that here in this second half and take that momentum into their next game against Richmond. That Richmond very likely is the best team in the Atlantic 10. They need to be on their A game, and if you can take a big win here, that can be massive.
And if they have a 2-0 record in A10 play to start out, I mean, that you just can't even say about how important that is going into the rest of the season.
Certainly. So Momo LeClaire start things off for the Minutewomen. UMass now going right to left as we look at it. On the TV, it would be left to right. Megan Olbrey's turnaround hook shot. She gets blocked. And Kennedy Calhoun will take it in transition. Skip pass up to Mia Bergstrom, who I guess they're going to say kept that foot down as she faked the three. Now Animele will take the three instead and miss off the front rim. Here comes UMass back quickly. Momo LeClaire now, bounce pass inside to Olbrey. She gets double teamed by Simon, puts up the shot, no good. Offensive rebound tried to get by Momo LeClaire. She dives on it. It'll be a jump ball and possession arrow favoring the Billikens.
And after a couple opportunities there, Momo LeClaire just throwing her body on the line. You got to love to see that.
Kennedy Calhoun now working on Ali Palmieri. The starting 5 in the game for both teams. Actually, excuse me, just for UMass. Animele in the game starting the second half. Kennedy Calhoun open 3, small closeout for UMass. They'll let her shoot that deep shot, and she misses off the back rim. 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Still no score. 43-23 the score in the game. Shot by Steph Kuleja is good. She's got 14. She leads all scorers, and it's 45-23 UMass leads.
She's so locked in, she ripped through on the corner 3. There was no defender even there.
Kennedy Calhoun now as UMass utilizing a bit of a zone here. Going to have to close out on the shooters. Calhoun, pass to the corner. It's Mia Bergstrom for 3. She swishes it home. Hand in her face, doesn't matter. She is a shooter, as we mentioned. So 45-26 UMass leads. Still a 19-point lead. Momo LeClaire dribbling right at the logo, passing to Steph Kuleja, who gives a bounce pass to Megan Olbreys on the left block. Olbreys gets blocked, offensive rebound. Tiara Simon knocks it away, and it's Kennedy Calhoun that comes away with it. Bergstrom, bounce pass to Anya Mele, can't handle it. Ball on the ground, loose ball now, and Momo LeClaire picks it up. LeClaire now, 3-on-3 here. We'll slow it down at the perimeter. Now we'll take it back. Kuleja driving inside, makes Calhoun fall. Charging foul called. Would have been an and one as Peyton Kennedy lies on the ground. But instead, an offensive foul, and the Billikens force the turnover.
And good job by Kennedy there to set her feet in the restricted area. But what a drive there by Steph Kuleja.
Yeah, I mean, she made Calhoun hit the deck there. Not quite expecting a drive. But either way, 7:35 and counting here in the third quarter. UMass leads 45-26. Kennedy Calhoun dribbling waist high. Now will dribble diagonally and cut inside. No good. Too strong on the layup as the ball goes out of bounds. Chene Odenabo can't bring in the rebound. It'll be St. Louis basketball underneath the hoop with 10 on the shot clock.
And that feels like maybe the first missed defensive rebound by the Minute Women here today.
Anya Mele inbound to Kennedy, and she gets fouled. Peyton Kennedy put up the shot, and Chene Odenabo gets called for the defensive foul. That will be her second. So Peyton Kennedy gets two more at the line. 59 of 61 on the season. Still a 19-point lead for UMass. Cut that to 18 here with Kennedy's first make.
And now Lily Ferguson back into the game for the Minute Women, so they're going to go with this smaller lineup here.
Peyton Kennedy, the WNIT MVP last year, averaged 22 points and 6.5 rebounds in that tournament across 6 games as she goes 2 for 2 from the line, now 4 of 4 on the day. Steph Kuleja gets the inbound pass, and some miscommunication by UMass as the ball goes out of bounds. A turnover and a potential opportunity for St. Louis here to cut the lead even further.
Yeah, this is a trying moment for the Minute Women. They really have to hold strong here on defense.
Calhoun working against the UMass zone. Trying to take it inside. We'll bring it back out. Anya Mele for three. Swish! Anya Mele swishes home the three. It's a 14-point lead for UMass as they cut the deficit on the freshman's three. She's got 9. Momo LeClaire working now. Passing to Kuleja. Olbrey's top of the arc. Doesn't put the ball down. Passing to LeClaire. LeClaire gets blocked, but the offensive rebound goes out. Kuleja, three right in front of us. It looked good, but just a bit short as the defensive rebound racked in by Tiara Simon. Here comes St. Louis working quickly. Bergstrom, deep three is good. 11-point lead, and UMass calls timeout. A big three for St. Louis as they go on an 11-0 run.
And that's what this team can do. I mean, scoring 11, like you said, 11-0 run, but 11 points in under 2 minutes. I mean, that's unbelievable, their ability to get back and put themselves in a position in this game to now make a 20-point comeback.
And again, we talk about complacency. UMass needs to be able to find a way to get some more open shots in the way that they were able to do in the first half. And Beckett, you look at Shun Onyemele, 4 of 9 shooting. She's got 9 points. Bergstrom has hit 2 big threes. She's 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. Is the key for St. Louis to get the 3-ball going?
Well, I think there's no doubt in today's game. I mean, that is the best way to come back quickly, but it comes with the disadvantage of if you miss it, it leaves a much easier transition opportunity, and it's just a tougher shot in general. But this team wasn't likely to shoot 11% the whole game from 3. They sit right around 28% on the season because they have some players who aren't very high efficiency from that area. But they have the ability to make threes just like almost anyone else in this conference, and it's so necessary, especially in a game where you're down 20 coming into the third quarter.
No doubt about it. So the lead has been cut to 11. St. Louis has not yet led in this lead, but they are on their largest run right now, 11-0. We know that St. Louis is capable of putting up points in bunches. Talking to Colin Shore before the game, St. Louis's radio broadcaster, and he talked about that they struggle on defense sometimes to get stops, but they can put up points very quickly. We saw that there with 11 of them in under 2 minutes.
And like we talked about earlier, I mean, they love to play in transition, and that's probably when they're at their best. And you look back at that last play, I mean, Bergstrom just pull up three from might as well have been Illinois for all I know, and she cashed it, nothing but net.
And you see the intensity right now. We have such a great view of the UMass bench. The intensity of Mike Leffler just saying, we're good, we're good. Still an 11-point lead, still in a comfortable spot, but now it's their turn to go on a run.
Yeah, just got to keep playing their game here. I mean, they outscored St. Louis with no problems in that first half. Obviously, now being outscored in the third quarter 11-2, they really just have to put some points up.
Right here.
Starters on the floor for St. Louis, except for Shavers, who really struggled in her minutes. It's Anyamele instead. Ali Palmieri, open three, left wing. It's in! Ali Palmieri stops the bleeding. 48-34, UMass leads. And a big three from the captain. Kennedy Calhoun now dribbling at the Chaffetz Arena logo. Right wing. Now we'll bring it back to the left wing. Anyamele. Skip pass corner. Peyton Kennedy now. Skip pass to the other corner. Mia Bergstrom, sidestep three. No good. It's short. Peyton Kennedy, offensive rebound. Puts it in for two. 48-36 with 5:40 to play in the third quarter. Here's Momo LeClaire. LeClaire fakes the handoff to Palmieri. Really good defense by Kennedy Calhoun off ball. Palmieri getting to LeClaire. LeClaire gets a screen from Ferguson. Great job by Bergstrom to beat it. 8 on the shot clock. UMass got to get a shot up. 5. Olbrey's driving, trying to kick. Stolen away by St. Louis, and it's a foul called on Momo LeClaire, who dove for the loose ball, but instead took out the feet of the Billiken.
Interesting to note, I mean, UMass played so much zone defense in that first half, and a lot of that was because the Billikens were shooting so poorly from three. I wonder if they continue it.
Kennedy Calhoun organizing the offense. Anyamele, swing past Bergstrom. Back to Anyamele, left wing. UMass in their zone. Anyamele now will drive. Takes the mid-range jumper, no good, too strong off the back rim. Defensive rebound, Lily Ferguson, and here comes the Minute Women. Steph Kuleja driving across the charity stripe. Three-pointer, Palmieri misses left. Tierra Simon defensive board, and Steph Kuleja does a nice job to knock the ball out of bounds. It will still be St. Louis basketball, but Kuleja just prevented a transition opportunity.
Absolutely, and that's the kind of hustle that Steph Kuleja brings at all times. Just so impressive always. And Ali Palmieri hit a big three there, kind of stopped the bleeding like you mentioned.
So we will take this media timeout here. 4:35 remaining as UMass clinging on to a 12-point lead. It's 48-36 halfway through the third quarter. back here in the Chaffetz Arena. UMass holding on to a 12-point lead, 48-36 with 4:35 to play in the third quarter, but St. Louis has the basketball, and they are hot right now. In the third quarter, shooting 50% from three as Peyton Kennedy tries to get the ball, but off her hands and out of bounds. It'll be UMass basketball.
Lock in, run, let's go.
So here's Yamani McHale dribbling, waist high with a 12-point lead. Kuleja. Pass to Palmieri behind the arc. Palmieri wheels inside, loses the basketball. Anyamele now. Transition. Misses the layup, and we get a foul called on Lily Ferguson as Momo LeClaire will check right back into this basketball game. Fourth team foul for UMass. So with the next one, St. Louis will be in the bonus for the remainder of the quarter.
And Lily Ferguson was in a great position to get a block there, but I think Anyamele just took a little extra step there at the end, and that really threw her off.
Anyamele makes the first free throw, her first in the second half. She had one prior, and it was a missed and one opportunity. As Anyamele goes 2 for 2 from the line, an 84% free throw shooting team. St. Louis among the best in the country, as it is a 10-point lead for UMass. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Steph Kuleja now, bounce pass inside Olbreys. Olbreys driving, baseline, gets fouled. She'll shoot 2 at the line. And that will be Kennedy Calhoun getting called for her first foul of the ball game.
And on a 2-minute scoring drought here, I think getting to the line is something that is definitely needed for the Minute Women. That way they can see the ball go in, try to get back on track here in the third.
Olbreys at the line. Leader of this team misses the first off the left side of the rim. Now goes to 6 of 7 on the day. 15-3 run for St. Louis the past 4.5 minutes. Olbreys, no good, short with the second, and Tiara Simon with the tough defensive rebound. Calhoun now. Up to Bergstrom, back to Calhoun. Calhoun driving inside. Tries to step through, will instead swing it back out. Bergstrom takes the 2-point shot. No good. And a foul called underneath the basket on Yamani McHale as head coach Mike Leffler screaming, "What's the call?" He didn't see it.
I mean, I don't know about you, Josh. I didn't either. Yamani McHale about 6 inches or more shorter than Simon, and I didn't even see contact.
McHale now has 3 fouls on the day as Tiara Simon makes the first free throw. St. Louis cuts it to a single-digit lead for the first time and since the first quarter. Tiara Simon misses the second as it rolls around the circumference of the rim. 48-39, 3.5 to play in the third quarter. Steph Kuleja and the Minute Women going to work on offense. Yamani McHale left wing, trying to pass inside to Kuleja. Instead goes to Anyamele. Ball loose on the ground. Scrum for it right in front of us. And out of bounds off of UMass. It will be St. Louis basketball right in front of us. Brooklyn Gray to inbound.
And right now, the Minute Women not really having much of an answer for the Billikens defense. They've really flipped this game on its side.
16-3 run for St. Louis. Kennedy Calhoun swing to the corner. Anyamele 3 and a big one. No good off the front rim. Still a 9-point lead. Here comes McHale. Has the trailer Olbreys, who will pass it to the right wing. It's Kuleja. Kuleja driving right baseline will put up a wild layup. No good. Airballed the layup. And we get a jump ball called. Possession arrow favoring UMass. Still inbound underneath the basket with 16 seconds on the shot clock.
This is the kind of instance where UMass's leaders, Megan Olbreys, Stephanie Kuleja, Ali Palmieri, they really need to dig in and find a way to score a bucket here. I mean, nearly 3.5 minutes without a score for the Minute Women.
Yeah, just 5 points in the third quarter as off the inbound, it's Ali Palmieri. Fadeaway jump shot A mid-range in the short corner, no good, off the side of the backboard. Brooklyn Gray back the other way. Gray, outlet pass to Calhoun. Back to Gray in the corner, bounce pass Calhoun, right wing. Calhoun has Palmieri on her. Trying to find someone to pass to. Will get it to Peyton Kennedy in the top of the arc. Back to Calhoun, 7 on the shot clock. Calhoun behind the back. Now will drive it herself. And she gets fouled. Steph Kuleja cannot believe the call. Neither can Mike Leffler. As St. Louis inching back into this ball game. Kennedy Calhoun will shoot 2 at the line.
Certainly looks like she just tripped on the rip through.
Calhoun also a very, very good free throw shooter. 85% on the year as she swishes home the first. And there may not be a clutcher player in the Atlantic 10 than Kennedy Calhoun. The amount of times that she has led her team in the second half as she misses the second free throw. 8-point game for UMass. LeClaire looking to get UMass back on the board here. 2 minutes and 10 seconds in the third quarter. Olbrys pass to Ferguson. Thought about the shot, decided against it. Skip pass. Palmieri, mid-range jumper. She gets fouled on the shot attempt. Had her right arm hit as she was going up, and she'll shoot 2 at the line. Good job by Palmieri.
She also made Kennedy Calhoun touch the hardwood again,
and that's how hard Calhoun moves it at 100% speed every single time she moves. Sometimes it can get the best of her. As Ali Palmieri misses the free throw short, the St. Louis Pep Band doing a good job. UMass has missed their past 3 free throws to make it a 9-point lead. Palmieri no good again. Peyton Kennedy gets the rebound and passing it to Brooklyn Gray. Gray now in transition, working quickly. Floater no good off the back rim, and Gray knocked it out of bounds. It'll be UMass basketball.
And this is pretty hard to believe. St. Louis still on this 17-3 run, also on a 6-0 run, but they haven't scored a basket in almost 4 minutes.
Let's go, Red Energy!
Momo LeClaire, minute 40 to play in the third quarter. Trying to get it inside to Olbrys. She does. Brooklyn Gray on her. Gray fouls her as her hands went down on the basketball and got a bit of the hand of Olbrys as well. So Olbrys will shoot 2 at the line here, trying to stop an 0-for-4 drought for the Minute Women from the charity stripe.
And to end this third quarter, obviously it's been really tough. St. Louis has been able to flip the script here, but UMass really needs to find a way to go into this fourth quarter with some confidence, with a little bit of breathing room. And if this is the way they do it, so be it.
17-3 run as Megan Olbrys is frustrated here. They're interrupting the shooter here, as that's what Mike Leffler is arguing, as you might be able to hear it on our crowd mic as we are right behind him.
Wouldn't surprise me, Josh.
Megan Olbrys' first free throw is good, so the timeout doesn't bother her. And back to a 9-point lead. Olbrys with the second upcoming. That one good as well, so big time for Megan Olbrys, the junior captain. It's a 10-point lead again for UMass. Anya Mele now breaking the press. She does very well at that. Extra pass, Hannah Wallace, and she's good for 2. Freshman to freshman. Back to an 8-point lead for UMass. A minute 15 to go here in the third quarter. LeClaire on Wallace. Now Palmieri right wing. Kuleja. Bounce pass into Odenabo. Odenabo puts up the shot, no good. Rebound being fought for. Tiara Simon gets it. Simon to Calhoun. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Calhoun coast to coast. And a foul call, no basket. As it will be on Momo LeClaire. Call on the floor. So it still will be free throws for Calhoun, as she was as St. Louis is in the bonus. Can cut the lead to 6.
Still a minute to go in the third here.
As Calhoun makes the first free throw.
But UMass really needs to find a way to finish this quarter strong. It's been a real struggle here. All the good fortune has flipped.
So a 20-7 is the lead for St. Louis here in the third quarter. As Hannah Wallace gets the steal. Wallace now working on LeClaire, drives by her. May have gotten away with a travel. Kennedy Calhoun now trying to find Peyton Kennedy in the corner, but Steph Kuleja gets her hand in the passing lane. 17 seconds separate the shot and game clock. 36 remaining here in the third quarter. 50-44, St. Louis has come back in this ball game. UMass led by as many as 22. And Anyamele signals too small as she makes the layup. 4-point lead now for UMass. Kuleja gets up the floor. Beating the press, and it's Ali Palmieri. 7 on the game clock here in the third quarter. Ball almost stolen away. Jump ball called. Possession arrow in favor of St. Louis. They'll have 2 seconds here to get up a shot down by 4.
And going back to that last play, Anyamele, that was not a freshman. They're not something you're certainly used to seeing from a freshman. I mean, so poised. And that's how the Billikens have been able to completely flip this game on its head.
Tillett now to inbound. Looking for someone to pass to. Gets it to Bergstrom. Puts up a shot with the left hand. No good. And that will do it here in the third quarter. UMass now only leading by 4. 10 minutes to go here in this ball game. We've got a tight one. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on YouTube and TikTok. Back here in the fourth quarter. We're just about to start it, that is. UMass led by 22 points at halftime, but ever since then it has been downhill. St. Louis outscored them 23-7 in the third quarter. UMass needs to go on a run of their own here in the fourth.
Absolutely, Josh. And there's something very important to remember, which is that a basketball game, although the third quarter is very important, it's not won or lost in the third quarter. It really comes down to the fourth. And the Minute Women need to remember that this game is far from over. They still, albeit very small, they're still clinging on to a 4-point lead. They need to clean it up. The passing, they had over 7 turnovers in that third quarter. They also need to hit their free throws. 4 misses in a row there, and that might have been a big momentum shift.
Yeah, in the second half, UMass 7 turnovers, St. Louis 2. So small sample size, but plenty of time here as Yamani McHale dribbles it up for the Minute Women. Megan Olbrey's a foot inside the free throw line, or inside the 3-point line. And now gets it back top of the arc. Odenabo inside, misses the layup. St. Louis with a chance to cut it to 1 possession. 9:35 to play in the fourth quarter. 50-46 is the score. Peyton Kennedy now between the legs, passing to Anyamele. Anyamele steps into a 3, swishes it home. And a technical foul called on, I am not sure.
On St. Louis? Honestly, it seems like they called it on the shooter, Anyamele.
And Rebecca Tillett has a smile on her face as Anyamele realized maybe a bit of a taunt from Anyamele.
That's my guess.
As Olbrey's makes the technical free throw. So a 2-point lead for UMass as they have the ball. And here's a second technical free throw from Olbrey's. That one good as well as she shoes off the pep band.
And so if that's the kind of thing that the Minute Women needed here to bring back their momentum and their confidence, it really feels like the wind has collectively been taken out of their sails. And so they need to find a way to really come back down to earth and finish out this game.
Inbound pass goes to Palmieri. Yamani McHale holds the ball at the St. Louis Billiken logo. Bounce pass Palmieri working on Mia Bergstrom. Handoff back to Palmieri from Odenabo. Puts up a wild shot. No good. Rebound Kennedy and a jump ball called. Possession arrow goes towards St. Louis. Still a 3-point game now as Allie Palmieri throws a piece of tape that had been on her elbow over towards the bench. UMass needing a stop here defensively. 52-49. UMass still leads. Calhoun inside. Now on Yamele. Mid-range jump shot. No good off the back rim. Defensive rebound, Kuleja. Here comes UMass. McHale streaking up the floor. Penetrating inside. Extra pass to Odenabo. Can't quite handle it. Excuse me, that was Olbrey's. As the ball goes out of bounds, St. Louis basketball.
I mean, everything that could possibly go wrong going wrong right now for UMass.
Kennedy Calhoun with the basketball. 8:35 to play in the ball game. 3-point lead. Anyamele to tie the ball game. No good off the right rim. Defensive rebound secured by Olbrey's. What does Yamani McHale have? 3-pointer, no good. Off to the right. It was an air ball. As Yamani McHale, an uncharacteristic miss from 3.
No doubt, she's been so lights out, but no one on this team should be afraid to shoot it here. That's the worst thing that can happen in a basketball game. You get tight, you get afraid to shoot, and UMass just needs to stay confident.
Kennedy Calhoun working on Yamani McHale, getting to Peyton Kennedy on the right wing. Underhand pass to Bergstrom. Now to Calhoun. Tierra Simon. Simon driving inside. Wild left-handed shot. No good. Peyton Kennedy offensive rebound and blocked by Odenabo, but no, it will be a foul called on her. That will be her third. Odenabo just 18 minutes played here today. But they need her. What she can do offensively. First free throw from Kennedy is good. Peyton Kennedy 5 for 5 on the day. Has missed just 2 free throws this year. And Kennedy rattles the next one home as well. It's a 1-point ball game. Ali Palmieri getting the ball up the floor quickly. UMass just 9 points here in the second half. But it won't matter if they can go on a run here. Steph Kuleja back to Palmieri, top of the arc. Waist-high dribble, dicing in. Palmieri step through off the backboard, no good. Rebound out to Odenabo. Yamani McHale thought about the three. Now will drive inside, pass to Olbrys. Short corner, back outside Kuleja. 13 on the shot clock. Kuleja working on Wallace. Kuleja driving inside, trying to find somebody to pass to. McHale, corner three. It's good! It's good! Yamani McHale brings the lead back to 4. Bergstrom to respond. No good off the back rim. McHale defensive rebound. 55-51. UMass with the lead. 7 minutes to play. McHale now working on Calhoun. McHale gets the pass knocked away to Palmieri. Palmieri now. Short corner. Pass gets to Calhoun, and Calhoun all alone. In transition. Puts it in for 2. It's a 2-point game. 6:35 to play. 55-53 UMass leads.
What a big possession that was. We got a dogfight, Josh.
That we do. Steph Kuleja right wing to Ali Palmieri. Screen left from Odenabo. Palmieri mid-range jump shot. It's short. Out of bounds. St. Louis basketball. 6:18 to play. Kennedy Calhoun brings the ball up the floor. Momo Leclerc tight on her. Yamani McHale tight on her as Momo Leclerc sits at the scorer's table to sub in. Lily Ferguson there as well with her. Kennedy Calhoun off the screen. Switching on to Ali Palmieri. Peyton Kennedy now by the charity stripe. Had an open shot for a moment, decided against it. UMass recollects themselves. Blocked by Odenabo. Tierra Simon had the opportunity and a shot clock violation. It will be UMass basketball. Great defensive possession from the Minutewomen.
And finally, an Odenabo block, not called a personal foul, and she just able to put her hand straight up, doesn't even have to get off the ground, and great defensive possession. This is where defense can turn into offense. The Minutewomen need to score in this possession.
Just 2 team fouls in this fourth quarter, about 4 minutes and 15 seconds into it. Inside Olbrys, couldn't quite catch the pass, but secured it. McHale, 3 again. It's good! The freshman point guard answers again. 58-53 is the lead. Bergstrom to respond well short. Rebound Kuleja. She's got a double-double. She gets trapped. And we get a timeout called by Mike Leffler. UMass has one more. But what a big 2 threes by the freshman point guard from New York City, Yamani McHale.
My golly, Josh. I mean, she is just so impressive. It doesn't matter if she's in a gym, in her own gym, if she's away 1,000 miles. She feels the same amount of confidence on every single shot. Go back to her first 3 of this fourth quarter. She was calling for it for about 8 seconds of shot clock. Finally gets it, defender closing in on her, and she drains it in her face. Going back to that last possession, corner 3 wide open. Why not? She's one of the best three-point shooters in the country, and that's from a true freshman.
That it is. She's got 10 points on the day on 4 of 8 shooting, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, and 3 turnovers for her. So not bad against a team like St. Louis, who loves to force them. And for St. Louis, it's been Anya Mele, who 16 points for her. She has been huge for them. By far their best scorer today.
No doubt whatsoever. I mean, just so impressive to see a freshman. We're talking about freshmen on both sides. I mean, having this much confidence in a very important game in Atlantic 10 play. And 2 of 6 from 3, 33%. She doesn't need to shoot much more, but she can score at all levels on the offensive side of the ball, and it's just so impressive. And you see that Peyton Kennedy, 11 points this game, only 2 of 6 from the field. She is, of course, 6 of 6 from the free throw line.
So 58-53 UMass leads here in the fourth quarter. Man, Beckett, you wonder, scoring has been so hard to come by for UMass here in the second half, just 15 points in 15 minutes. But at the end of the day, that's what you built that cushion for, to give yourself the opportunity to stumble a little bit. But if UMass can go on a run here, they can put this game on ice. It's going to be a matter of, can you continue to score with St. Louis?
Absolutely, and they've already scored more points in the first 4 minutes and 40 seconds of this fourth quarter than they did all of the third. So it was clearly just a rut that they were in. They could not buy a basket. But now, starting to get their confidence back. Hopefully, Yamani McHale's shot inspires that in the rest of her teammates as well, and they're all able to continue.
Inbounds pass goes to Yamani McHale as she will try to break the press, getting to Megan Olbreys. She does just that, passing to LeClaire at the logo. LeClaire backing down on Kennedy Calhoun, getting to Steph Kuleja inside the three-point arc. Kuleja penetrating, puts up the shot, and good. Steph Kuleja having her game of the year. 16 points and 12 rebounds for the fifth-year captain. Bounce pass inside to Tiara Simon. It goes through her legs. Beautiful idea by Kennedy Calhoun, but just can't execute as it got up on Simon quickly. 60-53 is the lead. 4:45 to go in the ball game. Momo LeClaire up to McHale. McHale breaking the press. McHale now dribbling right at the Billiken logo. The mythological creature. Steph Kuleja back to McHale. McHale driving inside, puts up a wild shot, and in! A mythological creature of her own, an alien, puts it up over the 6'2" Simon, and it is a 9-point lead for UMass with 4:10 to play.
That was about 14 feet of arc, sorry.
That it was. As we get a foul called now on Megan Olbreys. She can't believe it, but just her second foul, so that's big for her. And the second team foul for UMass in the fourth quarter with 4:03 to play.
But what a time to have a 7-0 run here over the last minute 30. Got to continue this defense.
Tiara Simon now inside Peyton Kennedy. Turnaround hook shot, and she got that shot badly altered. And in fact, it was blocked. No, it was not.
Whatever it was, it's UMass ball.
Yeah. Peyton Kennedy shot it, and it actually went behind the backboard.
Which should be out of bounds.
Yeah, and it is. Rebecca Tillett arguing that it should have been called a block on UMass and therefore out on UMass, as the referee is discussing right now. And they switch the call.
Very thoughtful of them.
Yeah, and I mean, for a shot to be that far off, I would imagine it would be blocked, but Leffler understandably not happy with switching the call after Tillett had a problem with it. And ball don't lie as Yamani McHale comes up with the steal. McHale off the inbound now will bring it back out beyond the perimeter in UMass's offensive territory.
And this is where UMass really wants to try to slow it down, right? They want St. Louis to have as few offensive possessions for the rest of this game as possible, up 9.
Steph Kuleja inside Olbreys. Olbreys backing down, gets double teamed by Calhoun. Calhoun comes away with the steal, and here she goes in transition. Anya Mele, step through, misses the layup. Defensive rebound, Lily Ferguson. Steph Kuleja now in transition, working on Simon, puts up the shot, and it is good. Stephanie Kuleja, have yourself a ball game. As Hannah Wallace now goes in transition and lays it in for 2 with the answer. Timeout, Rebecca Tillett. 9-point game for UMass, but Stephanie Kuleja 18 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. Man, what a game.
Yeah, and we talked about this earlier. I mean, she had 18, 6, and 2 last time these two teams faced off against each other. I don't know if it's something about being around people from St. Louis, but she's got a different pep in her step tonight. You just have to love it. I mean, scoring at all sides, hitting her threes, hitting her shots down low, and you can see the confidence, Josh. It's just at a different level for her. And if UMass can have her scoring even 15 points a game from here on out in A10 play, I mean, that would change everything for them.
You'd take double figures.
You would.
Either way, Steph Kuleja having herself maybe a career game given the circumstances.
UMass 4 of their last 4 here.
As Momo LeClaire nearly loses it, but instead it will be Megan Olbrys breaking the press with a pass to McHale. McHale pass inside to Ferguson. Ferguson back out LeClaire. Under 3 minutes to play in the ball game, 18 on the shot clock. LeClaire grabs the basketball as Kennedy Calhoun dives into her legs.
I mean, you have to understand how Kennedy Calhoun can have as many steals as she has. She's so intense at all times. I mean, hand checking, using her hand, using the body.
She's got 4 steals on the ball game. 3 fouls to go along with it. Megan Olbrys will inbound right in front of us. As we get finally the inbound. 2:54 to go. UMass has a 9-point lead. It's 64-55. Yamani McHale has Hannah Wallace, the tall guard, on her. Megan Olbrys swing to LeClaire. LeClaire now. And we get a foul called on Mia Bergstrom away from the basketball.
Yeah, off ball there on a cutting Steph Kuleja, and Mike Leffler just about willed that foul into existence.
Yeah. So did the whole bench. It was obvious in their eyes as Yamani McHale off the inbound, 17 on the shot clock. Inside Olbrys, working on Simon. Gets double teamed by Calhoun, puts up the shot, and gets it to fall.
What great use of her body there too, Josh.
Despite the double team, as Peyton Kennedy takes a heave from deep 3, no good. Defensive rebound, a scrum for it, up to Kuleja. Kuleja lays it in for 2. 68-55, 2:15 to play. Kuleja's got 20. And now into the passing lane goes Kuleja, deflected out of bounds, saving potentially a bucket. And St. Louis will have to inbound. 2:07 to play in this ball game, and man, what a game for the 5th-year captain.
And the Minute Women doubling up the Billikens here in this 4th quarter, 18 points to 9.
One stop, Brad!
As our crowd mic hits the deck.
Apologize for that. Mia Bergstrom string to Calhoun, top of the arc. Bergstrom deep 3, no good. Under 2 minutes to play as Megan Olbrys gets the defensive rebound. Here's McHale, 3-on-1. McHale pass to Ferguson. Now Kuleja. Kuleja gets fouled. She'll shoot 2 at the line. UMass having fun down low. Just too much unselfishness that time.
And there's nothing wrong with that. They end up with 2 shots at the line.
Yeah, kind of an impossible position for St. Louis to be in defensively on the 3-on-1. 13-2 run for UMass here in the 4th quarter. Steph Kuleja makes the first, and you talk about adversity. Something Mike Leffler has talked about as how they deal with adversity. They did just that and more as they have built this lead up to 15 as we get a whistle. Maybe a free throw violation.
And the other thing, Josh.
Sorry, 1 second, Beckett. It is a 14-point lead. Minute 40 to play as Kennedy Calhoun takes it up.
Just that any given night, a different Minute Woman could be the biggest part. And that's so impressive. They're able.
Sorry, Beckett. Wild shot by Anya Melly. Here comes UMass back in transition. I'll let you finish that here.
I appreciate it. It's just the ability to have 4 to 5 different players who are able to score double figures on any given night and potentially give a team 20 and 10 rebounds. It's just unbelievable how well they're able to spread it around. I apologize.
Oh, no, that's That's the nature of this game. Steph Kuleja skip pass to the corner. Momo LeClaire inside Olbrys. Back to LeClaire. 3 to ice it. She got it! Why not Momo LeClaire? 72-55. The dagger. Under a minute to play as Anyamele dribbles it out of bounds. UMass bench on their feet. And UMass is 54 seconds away from getting their first victory against St. Louis since February of 2022, and the first time beating Rebecca Tillett.
That might be the possession of the year. Fake out there by Megan Olbrys leaves a wide open Momo LeClaire and just nothing but net.
Yamani McHale now dribbling. 23 seconds separating the shot and game clock. Kennedy Calhoun still playing swarming defense. Megan Olbrys driving inside, blocked by Wallace, and we get a foul called offensive as it's Anyamele on the ground here. Slow to get up. Hope she's all right. A very talented freshman.
Looks like she might have just gotten an ill-timed elbow to the face, unfortunately. But with 33 to go, UMass up 17. What a fourth quarter, Josh.
It was not too long ago that UMass, and although entirely different team, walked off the floor in Wilmington, Delaware, super disappointed after maybe the greatest game in A10 women's basketball history, losing a heartbreaker to St. Louis that sent them to the NCAA tournament. I know that there are not those demons for most of these players on this team, but certainly for Stephanie Kuleja, you have to imagine 21 points, 12 rebounds to go along with 3 steals and just impeccable defensive play from her.
I mean, you talk about it. The Billikens average 72 points per game. And at this point in the season, you have to talk about the UMass defense because you could talk about individual players. You know, Megan Olbrys, such a defensive presence down low. But as a team, to hold a team that averages 72 points per game to likely under 60 points, it's unbelievable. They did a very similar thing against Boston College. Obviously not able to squeak that game out. But they have the ability to stop the scoring from almost anybody.
Yeah.
And that means that if their shots are falling, they have a chance to beat almost anybody.
And you brought up an interesting point, that game against Boston College. UMass had that game. They really did. And Coach Leffler talked about how in the locker room they wanted to get more situational opportunities in practices, something they didn't really have time to do earlier in the season. They've had that time here in the break. They've been able to work on those situational moments of playing with a lead because it's a lot different than playing regularly. St. Louis in desperation mode there in that third quarter. They played their best basketball. UMass took the punch on the mouth. They hit their free throws when it mattered after things got a little bit shaky, and they delivered.
Yeah, and it's not just practice we're talking about. I mean, they had that really tough sequence that ended up losing the game against UNH. And then they come back the next home game and just demolish Northeastern. And they have situational positions in every single game. And it's about taking those opportunities and just wearing them and saying, I know this happened to us, but we're going to wear it as a badge of honor, and we're going to move on and become a better team because of it.
The sky is the limit for this basketball team. Going like this and just dominating this St. Louis team for 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, nearly 3 quarters, no doubt.
You know, Coach Leffler always talks about playing 40 minutes, and that is something very important to any basketball team. They didn't exactly play 40 minutes today, but they played some really good 30 minutes. So that is going to get them this win as Peyton Kennedy now working on offense to Tierra Simon on the right wing. Isabel Tillett thought about the 3, now will pass inside to Peyton Kennedy. Kennedy backing down on Ferguson. Swing, Bergstrom, deep 3, no good, back rim. Defensive rebound, Olbrys, and that should do it as Momo LeClaire kicks it up. UMass beats the press, and we'll see if Kennedy Calhoun lets them dribble it out. She does not, and Momo LeClaire, Yamani McHale dribbles out the clock. UMass has their first winning streak in 2 years. They have won their third game in a row, and hopefully just the beginning of a wonderful story.
I mean, really just, you can't say enough. Like you said, they played 30 minutes of ridiculous basketball, 10 minutes of forgettable basketball, but 30 minutes of just absurd, great team defense, great offensive execution. And you talk about only giving up 11 points to their leading scorer, Peyton Kennedy, only 6 shot attempts by her. And the Minute Women had no road wins all of last season, right? Now they're 3-3 on the road. They're now 7-6 overall. Like you said, a 3-game winning streak. And just the right time to do it. 2-0 in A10 play, Josh.
UMass outscored St. Louis 65-32 in the first, second, and fourth quarters.
Wow. That's a good stat.
I think you'll take that.
Oh, yeah.
You like your chances when you do that.
There's no question about it. If you can pretty much double up a team in 3 quarters, like we talked about, that cushion was so important. Being up 20 going into that third quarter is the reason why the Minute Women won that game, because they were able to weather the storm, take those shots, and still come away with a decisive victory.
What a fun game for UMass, and a matchup that never disappoints. UMass versus St. Louis. This time it's the Minute Women coming away with a 72-55 victory on the road. They are above 500 for the first time since game 1. No, they lost game 1. They're above 500 for the first time this season. And thank you so much to everyone who tuned in on YouTube, on TikTok. We'll see you next time here on Sunday for a matchup against the best team in the Atlantic 10, the Richmond Spiders, and we'll see just what UMass has in them in that one.
No doubt about it.
For Beckett Storey, I'm Josh Schreiber signing off here on my YouTube and TikTok. We'll see you next time in this unconventional broadcast. UMass